Hi everyone, welcome back to Polvy Stories. It's been like 6 or 7 months since my last upload, and I just want to make this quick video to update you of all the things that have happened to me and also to reconnect with you. And if you have any questions about all the things that I will be saying today, please don't hesitate to put it in the comment section. And if you have anything to share, like if you had the same experience as mine, please comment it down below as well. I would love to read your experiences and all the things that you want to share there. So, as I've said, I just want to update you with all the things that have happened to me. So last March, I applied for a second program. For those of you who are not familiar with this channel, I shared before that originally my application was a 2-year program here. But after the first term of the 2-year program, I decided to transfer to another program because I think at that time I was in search for something that's more in line with what I want to do in the future. And so I transferred to a research and evaluation program in Fanshawe. And I have the option, since it ended last April, I had the option to either stop it there and get a PGWP or continue on for a second program. And I decided to get a second program. So I found this program at University of Western Ontario and I applied for it last March. Next is I also applied for a co-op work last March, and actually I was not really expecting to get a co-op job because, as they said, it's difficult to find a co-op program, or sorry, it's difficult to get a co-op work because other companies prefer hiring interns that they don't have to pay. Because in co-op, it's like a paid internship where you have to pay the intern or the student that's as part of his or her co-op. But I have a classmate who asked me to just submit a resume to Fanshawe because there's this department who's looking for co-op students to perform its research function for a report that they have to submit this year. And so luckily I was hired, and so I had a co-op instantly. And another thing is we were looking for another house or another apartment where we could transfer. Our lease was about to expire last April 2022, and since we needed a bigger space, my brother is also already living here with us, we needed to transfer to a bigger space. And so since January we were looking for a place, but we had so many requirements on our part. We wanted it to have a basement, we wanted it to so many things. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into that. If you are interested to know more about finding a house or an apartment here in London, Ontario, then just tell me. Maybe I could do a separate video for this. Also, last March, we had to go through this process of enrolling my child to junior kindergarten school. So I have 2 kids, both were in daycare. And at that time, my daughter was ready to be transferred to a junior kindergarten class. And so we had to make an enrollment for her. But since it's a different school because it's a francophone school, meaning their first language is French, and nobody here in the house speaks French. And so it's a different process for them to take us in, to take my daughter in. And so we have to go through that process. Anyway, I can also make a separate video for that, but this particular video is just to update you guys on what happened in the past. Okay, so April, I received the letter of admission from University of Western Ontario. So yay, I no longer have a problem which program I'm going to take. And then I also, as I've mentioned, I got accepted for my co-op and I started in May. And then towards the end of April, my husband urged me to get the CELPIP. It's like an IELTS, but CELPIP is managed and provided by the Canada itself. So I took the CELPIP so that I can already make my express entry profile. The reason why my husband wanted me to get the express entry profile ready so that we will have increased scores in his profile. So we were actually looking forward to him being the primary applicant, if ever, for our express entry, and I am just the spouse, or my scores would be just in addition to his scores. But we are really planning for him to get the primary application. And so after about 5 days, I got the result for my self-pip, and before the end of April, I think it was April 28th or 27th, I have completed my express entry profile. And the funny thing about that is, during the first week of May, on May 8th, I received a notification of interest from the province of Ontario through my express entry that they are inviting me to apply for the nomination program or the provincial nomination program. So it's funny because I wasn't really planning on getting my CELPIP. I wasn't really planning on getting my express entry profile ready because, as I've said, our minds were set that Martin, my husband, will be the primary applicant for our PR application. And so we were just happy, and we see how the hand of God moved right there when I just completed my self-pip. I just made my express entry profile, and then after a week, I received a notification of interest from Ontario to apply through the express entry profile that I have just created a week ago. And another thing about that is I have a low express entry score. The profile was low because of my age, because of the size of the family that we have, and the work experience, which at that time, during my days in the Philippines, I never had much work experience actually. And so I had low scores. But at the time, the province of Ontario had this low low minimum score. They got a low minimum score for all the healthcare workers. And so I got in. With my low score, I got in. And that was just, I think, providential from God that I was able to be included in that. As to whether we got the nomination from Ontario is an entirely different story, because as of now, we're still waiting for it. It has taken us almost, like, we submitted the application last June. So it's been July, August, September, October, and it's going to be November. It's almost 5 months and we haven't had any update. It says that the decision is still in progress until now. So we're hoping that anytime from now, the result will be out. So please pray for us, and I will definitely update you once we get the nomination from Ontario. Or if we don't get it for whatever reason, I will also share it with you. But I really hope that we will get it. Anyway, so yeah, that's what happened in April and on May. And also in May, I had an MRI. It's sort of a monitoring for my spinal cord condition. And what else? June, we already found a house at last. So it's been like 6 months that we have been looking for a house. It's because we have this lots of requirements, as I've said. So we finally found a house, and we also were able to submit our OINP application last June. So we got the notification or the invitation on May, and then we submitted the application by June because we had to complete a lot of documents. And then what else? Please be patient with me here. There are a lot of things that happened, and I just want to give a quick rundown. So July, our submission was our submission with the OINP moved from submitted status to assessment status. So we got excited for a while, but it took several months before that moved to decision in progress. So yeah. So at that time in July, we were getting ready to move out from the apartment, and we were starting to move some stuff into the new house. And that's the end also of co-op. So at that time, during the first week of August, I was also looking for a job, like a job to replace my co-op, like a part-time job. So then when August came, we also had some relatives who came in and visit us, and it was a happy time for us because we haven't seen them for years. And it was a happy reunion for all of us. So again, I was looking for a job and I found one. And then on September, I was able to start my second program at University of Western Ontario. And then my daughter started going to school as a junior kindergarten in that same school where we applied. It's a francophone Catholic school here in London, Ontario. And then I also worked as an office administrator for a startup company here in London. But unfortunately, I had to resign because my schedule in school and my schedule bringing my kids to school conflicts with the schedule of the work. And then just in time that I resigned, after a week, I learned that I was pregnant. So yes, I am currently 8 weeks pregnant, and we are so happy. And also, um, I wouldn't say that I am scared. Maybe we're just thinking about the possibilities of what might happen because we're still um, not permanent residents here. And then I got pregnant, what will happen to the baby and all that stuff. But we are so happy that we will be having our third baby. So the obstetrician back in the Philippines told me that it's safer for me to have just two babies. And I also believe that I shouldn't decide for myself, that I have to keep our family life open to God's plan. And so when we learned that we're gonna have a third baby, we were so sure that this is given by God, like a part, not just an accident, but a part of um our lives. I've always felt like I will always have a third baby, and that it will not end with my two daughters. And so when I learned that I'm pregnant, I was so yeah, I know. I know this is gonna happen for sure. And now it has been given to us, so we are so happy. So uh, I had experience going to the ER because of this pregnancy, and I can share that with you in another separate video. If you're gonna ask me which hospital experience is better here in Canada or in the Philippines, I can also answer that. And it's not, it might not be a popular opinion, but I think I'm gonna make a video of that as well. So for now, that's all I have to say. I am pregnant. I got my OINP application ongoing. I am on my second program. We moved to another house. I got a job and I resigned. So all these things happened. And if you have any questions, any specific questions that you might want me to answer, I am more than happy to answer them for you. Just comment it down below. Okay, so see you in my next video.